Because it seemed that it wasn't picking it up. Can you guys hear us now on the stream? Is this working now? We had a little bit of technical difficulties there for a second, but it seems that it's capturing everything now. Go, could you speak for a second?
Bette Midler's.
Yep, all right, it's working. All right, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome again to the stream. We had some audio problems right there for a second. The audio capture was a bit wonky-donkey. With us today here is Go, of course, which you just heard, and we've got Wes, who's working on his own Star Trek project in Unity. Can anybody in the chat confirm if they can hear us or not?
I can hear you.
All right, cool.
It's all good. Don't you worry about it.
Don't you worry about a thing. So, today we're going to be working on stuff. One of the things I've built is, what I've changed is I've slapped the old Neptune through Substance Painter, which got some really, really wicked results. Master Chief had to refresh the screen, but it seems to work. And he can hear you and Go. All right, that's good. Excellent. So that's done. So I've been working on particles as well. Attack pattern Omega. Oh, wait, this is... Oh, why is it Gamma? Yeah, it's attack pattern Gamma, that's fine. And we're going to make some more abilities today.
Das ist gut, ja?
Oh god, did somebody change the Yorktown? Alright, no, that's cool. That's cool. That's all cool. Alright.
Have you settled on a name for your project yet, Wes?
Well, funny you bring that up. I did, but then everybody hated it. So
what was your what is
what? 2 weeks for people to submit something that they don't hate, or I'll go with the one everyone hates.
So what did you come up with that everyone hates?
Admiral's chair.
I hate it.
I know. I think it's all right.
See, I think Goal and I like it, and it's reminiscent of Captain's Chair. Really old kind of game, if you can call it a game.
This sounds alright. It's not that bad. Yeah, we know Wes sounds echoey, Master Chief. It's his mic. Can't change it, unfortunately. Right, so I had a sheet up on the Google Docs, which showed me how much stuff I still need to do icon-wise.
What a load of sheet.
Ship abilities. And I think it in here.
Hey.
So let me time to check in game if I've done all this stuff yet.
Don't you give my
Hey, Khan's here. Just
if we do one of these that's not so impromptu,
just a proper welcome for Khan.
I shall leave you as you left me, as you left her, marooned for all eternity in the center of a dead planet.
Buried alive.
Buried alive.
Well, Captain's Chair is an old game, Master Chief, so we wouldn't be able to reutilize that. So Admiral's Chair was kind of the suggestion that was made in order to kind of bring that into it.
Where's Khan? No, Khan is in the is watching us on Twitch, Master Chief. Fed ability Scout. Now Scout has 2 abilities: deploy sensor and target engines. I'm pretty sure that target engines does have a particle effect. Fed buff Scout. Target engine self and target.
I think you should use Newer Sound of Win as its sound effect.
You see, it's got particle for self, but it doesn't have sounds yet. Now we're gonna go. Now I've got a humongous collection of sounds, which is insane, and I'm gonna get more because Wes has been so kind enough to provide me with more sounds.
Oh, yes, they're coming your way. Sadly, the time jumped up to 3 hours from 2 hours.
Right, so let's.
That might be why your voice is crapping out a little bit because you're uploading as well.
No, it's not crapping out. It's just the echoey stuff from
okay.
So one of the things I'm going to go for is I'm going to find some sounds from Starfleet Command 3. And now you guys that are in the room with me can't hear this, of course, but Starfleet Command 3 has some really nice sound effects that are useful for. Because this one is the target engine's ability, so a shutting down engine sound would be great, like a kind of a sound. So I'm just gonna do it like that. So let's see if a shielding version.
Don't you worry, Max. I've got you covered. If you need somebody to make a sound, I'm your man.
That's too much of a shield down. I think maybe...
Oh. I have some professional sounds from a Video Copilot pack of all sorts of power-ups and power-downs. I might be able to
suggesting the sounds that I make using using my mouth.
Oh, wait. Okay, sorry. They compare.
My sounds are so professional. What are you talking about?
I like this one. I like the breakdown sounds. Tracks. Mix and render. Tracks stereo to mono. Export audio. Call this fed abilities. Target engines. Underscore target. Copy paste that. Oh. Copy paste that. Yes. Save. Slap you in target engines target. And what we want to do, and what does the self part do? Apply buff on weapon fired. Alright, so that doesn't, maybe we can put a sound to it. But let's first put that sound in the actual sound effects database. 73, paste. You see, Go, what I was doing today at work, other than working, which is something I don't do, is I checked to see which... I hope
your employers never see this.
I was studying though, to be fair. So, is I was checking out in the game info folder, which I downloaded, to see which abilities have icons, because I know all of them have icons, but I didn't know which one of them had particles and sounds. I didn't know you could play the piano, Master Chief. I'd love to hear that. So check which ones have sounds and particles and which ones don't. And I found out that we don't have a lot of sounds for a lot of stuff, which of course will add a lot to the immersion when we start, doing stuff. All right, so let's see, target engines. What kind of a sound would that require? I think it would require first some sort of beepy sounds, activating ability beep beep and beep beep bong bong. And I know that I've got a bunch of Canon Enterprise bridge sounds, which can be found in Star Trek Legacy. Let's see which ones are nice. I like that one. Beep 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 beep.
It's just like that, is it?
Yep. Cut a bit off. Effect fade in. And what we're going to do is we're going to add a sound effect to it. What's a klaxon? Nope. Nope. No. Oh, no. Oh, that's not a bad idea. I can use that. Some wicked sounds, this, isn't it? Do we have fed variants of this? It's not aggressive enough, is it? Energy to weapons, then? Yep, that works. Now let's import 1 second silence and just copy a bit of that. Yep, that works. Tracks, mix and render. File, export audio. Call you fed ability target engine self. Hey. So that means that that's another sound effect. Ah, nice, me being inconsistent with naming ability and abilities. Lovely. Gotta love my consistency, folks.
What's it done, Precious?
Nothing special. Just maybe not being consistent with how I'm making sound effects. Right.
That.
So that's actually done. Actually, that doesn't need to be on persistent attach effect. That needs to be on the ability. There we go. That's done. That's done. Right. Deploy sensor. Hey, hello there, Centurion.
What's up, Centurion? How you going?
Right. Of course, now we have, of course, the ability which is deploy the buoy.
Hang on, mate.
We're going to have to mess with the buoy, Chris.
Turn my screen off. There we go.
We're doing great, Centurion. It's good to hear that you're doing well. What we're working on today, by the way, Centurion, is we're working on particles and sounds, making all the flashy, boinky, boinky, doink, doink stuff. Yeah, I know. It's me making sounds, you know, but you know how it works. Let's see. Deploying a sensor. Now, I think this sound works. That's the wrong sound effect that I threw in there. That's better. Let's combine that with a bridge beep. Actually, I think we can just use this sound, and I think we've already used this sound in the mod. So let's find out if we have it. I think I've used it as a deploy mine sound. Ability deploy mine. There we go. So we're going to put that on the sound effect on the deploy sensor. I said we're going to put that sound on the deploy sensor. Boinky doinky, boinky boinky doink doink sounds like a good time. Yes, it does. It's a very good time. We got 7 people watching, Chris. We're doing very well.
Very nice.
Yeah. All right, let's see. So that's that sound, but now we're going to need to check if the Fed Ability Scout deploy sensor, Fed Ability Scout sensor probe. Now let's see which. Oh god, I'm gonna have to check what it does. Fed Buff Scout deploy sensor. The deploy sensor deploys Fed spawnable sensor. Fed spawnable sensor. Fed spawnable sensor has Fed ability sensor probe as ability. This not making Fed ability sensor probe. Okay, Fed ability. Scroll back up to Fed ability sensor probe. Fed ability sensor probe uses Fed buff sensor probe. We're looking at strictly Fed today, by the way. Yes. What's so funny? Just what? Just what?
Just you in general.
What did I do?
It's just
apply buff to target, no range. Apply buff to planet. All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a okay proxy sensor. We're gonna make this more interesting. We're gonna attach a. Of course, I already closed it. Of course, I already closed that. Of course. Of course. Safal, you know that I'm running the stream now, and I can just, you know, like prevent you from ever commenting again, because asking for the release date's no longer funny. Tell me, go, it's no longer funny, because I'm getting really tired of the question. Ah, see? Thank you, Khan. Now, Fed buff sensor probe has 1 instant action, which is apply persistent particle effect, and now we're going to have to create a new persistent particle effect and a repeating sound. Ah, it's a good job on you, Centurion. Now I think I've got a nice scanner ping. Yep, that's a good scanner sound. It's a good one for the sensor.
So is this going up? My apologies. Is this going up just on YouTube? Or is there another chat?
This is YouTube and
Twitch as well.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Fed ability sensor probe. Loop, because this is a looped sound. We're doing a looped sound, go.
Is it a sound what is looped?
Yeah, it's like a sound, and it's not just a regular sound. It's like looped, because it's a looping sound. It's kind of loopy as well.
Kill me.
Only if you're going loopy.
Loopity loop.
Boop-a-doop-a-doop. Is looping true? Fade in time 0.1, fade out time 0.1. That's good. Now we need to create a particle effect to match that. Considering it doesn't have a range, we're going to make it easy. Yes, new global properties, infinite lifetime true, emitter, new point, add a fade effector. Now we're going to make our lives a bit easy for this. Let's set this to not camera, but parallel. 0 spawn angle variance, and cross -90. I meant forward -90. There we go. Now, I think we need to make a new texture for this. Or we might be able to reuse an existing texture, because if we can reusing an existing texture is always better. And I think there are some there are some mine abilities which are useful.
Just got a little check to make with you, Maxi Mouse.
Yes.
The L7, that is cruiser long range, correct? And then cruiser siege is the L5.
Yeah, those answers might be correct.
All right, cool. Good to know.
I have no idea, buddy.
I mean, I'm just hearing yes.
That's a jam sensor ring. I don't want the jam sensor ring. I want...
Jam?
Yeah, the bleeps, the fleeps, and the queeks. I know that I made a texture for the mine's radius.
What you said, yeah.
Oh, ability mine ring. Oh. Ah, wrong button. All ability mine ring base. Yeah, that's the one I need. All ability mine ring base. Because you know it's all about that base. About that base.
Super freaky.
Everyone seems much happier than last stream. It's good to hear. Well, why not?
What, were we miserable last stream?
We're quite depressed.
Were we? What about?
There's no food.
Food?
Yeah.
I do like food.
There you go. There's no food. Right, now we've got that. Now we need to linear inflate. Attach emitters. I'm going to attach point. And we're going to grow it by 1,000. Emit rate is going to be 0.5. It's a bit darker. It doesn't need to be very visible. Save as particle fed ability sensor radius.
So if anybody's got any questions about the Unity production of what's tentatively called Admiral's Chair for Wes, he is in the chat, so feel free to ask him anything that you want to about it.
Yeah, sure, guys.
Go. Could you do something for me?
It depends entirely on whether I have to make an effort to do so.
Well, the question was if you could link his channel in the chat.
Yes, I could.
Yes?
You have to make me a moderator to do so, I suspect.
Oh, how do I do that?
I think you click next to my name. There's like a little thingamajiggy there.
Where's your name?
Oh, I have to talk.
Do I need to do this in Restream, or do I need to do this in YouTube?
You'll need to do it in the individual chats.
How do I? I don't know how to do that. Do I need to open Twitch for that?
Yeah, and then you on the right hand side of that there is a little options panel in YouTube,
Alright, I'm
And
on
you can
Twitch
go
now.
there.
Could you type something in Twitch? Because I'm not seeing.
I just have.
Yeah, but I can't see the old chat in Twitch.
All right.
Alright,
And I think you can click on my name and make moderator.
make mod. Yep, done. I need to do this to YouTube as well. Give me a second. I'm not that quick.
Yeah.
Hey, sorry to interrupt, but how do I find you guys on, or find the stream on Twitch? Just so I can see
Do
the-
a search for Stellar Parallax Productions.
Is
Could
it
you,
like
could you do the same in YouTube, please?
Yep.
It's not showing you doing it in YouTube.
I'm definitely doing it.
That's not showing it up on the actual YouTube page.
Sadly, I can't find.
Ah, there we go.
anything,
I think I've got it. Add moderator. Alright, should be able to do it now.
Oh, okay. I can see the YouTube chat. Hey, Master Chief. So, the concept for Admiral's Chair, or whatever it ends up being called, is basically to do a fleet operations remaster. And if you're not familiar with fleet operations, it's a wonderful mod. You can find it at fleetops.net. Here, I'll type that in there. And it's just a really solid, well-developed game. And sadly, there's been no movement on it for 6 years. And so we're told that they're making their own game engine from scratch.
Yeah, and that was the last, isn't it?
Good luck with that. So you could probably expect the next version of that. But
In
I'm
2077.
trying to create. Yeah, 2077. First contact, 2063. So I'm trying to create a project in the meantime that is an offshoot of that is kind of true to Fleet Ops, but I'm not afraid to try new things with it.
Yeah, and we're supporting Wes in the kind of limited ways that we can. So I know Max has agreed to donate a fairly substantial amount of models, if I'm right in thinking that.
Yeah, that really helps. A lot of the work, I'd say, because I've kind of gotten into programming, but I honestly think art creation is the longest, most tedious thing. So having all these models from Armada 3, I think kind of gets this game launched quite significantly.
Ah, yeah, of course, you've certainly done your own interesting models, haven't you? I mean, you've made a really cool ship design of your own.
Well, thank you. I'm trying. I haven't made any ships before, but a couple weeks ago I tried my hand at it.
Oh!
And
Master Chief is now following.
That was your first ever attempt at a ship?
yes.
Fucking hell. I mean,
Jealous.
very good.
Aren't you jealous?
I'm sorry. Well, thanks.
You should have seen Goal's first attempt at a ship. He made the basis of
brilliant.
He made the basis of a Borg ship, and I kind of had to make it right, so which meant like kind of had to do it all over again.
It was brilliant.
I wish I could find a way to link the ship so that people can know what we're talking about.
I know you can always.
I've linked your YouTube channel.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's I did have a video that shows you a speed sculpt and texture of it in Substance Painter.
Speed sculpt.
Oh yeah. Actually, Max was showing me techniques in Substance Painter, and I'm gonna try to.
I can make dirt. I can make dust and scratches.
Yeah.
Actually, I need to close the soft. I need to close Photoshop and Substance Painter before I run the game. I found out because Sins just runs like a potato.
Sins runs like a potato anyway. Let's not kid ourselves.
Oh no, trust me, it really runs like a potato. It's like it runs an idle like SDA3 runs in like high gear. If I have Substance Painter and Photoshop on.
Nice.
It's not doing that now. Good.
Would you guys be able to link me to the Twitch? I tried
Oh,
searching
I can do
every
so.
version of Stellar Parallax I can.
Right. So,
Yeah.
folks, as you can see, I've done the
There you go,
substance,
Milado.
the substance painter stuff I've done to this ship in well, to make it look prettier.
Okay.
So this one turned out a lot nicer now as well. It's got quite a bit more detail on her now. A lot of more like the little more subtle dust and little dirts and little specks and little scratched metal everywhere. As you can see on the thrusters here, you can see a bit of scratched it away.
It's too bad you can't have Substance Painter open too, because you see the before. You know,
Yeah,
click it on.
yeah, that would I could, but yeah. Made the deflector slightly shinier, but anyway, that's not what we're here to see. We're here actually to see the scout abilities, because the scout has got new abilities. For one, let's turn auto attack on this bastard.
Oh, speaking of Auto Scout, can we have that back now?
Well, one person was very much against it, wasn't he?
Yeah, but I disagree with that.
Yeah, I kind of do too. So it's not it's definitely not like a thing where I go like, no.
So, well, we'll discuss it as a gang at some point in our little internal Discord, and I'm sure we'll come to a consensus about it.
I'm pretty sure the consensus will be made very quickly.
I just think Auto Scout is useful. Yes, they're going to be useful combat ships as well. I absolutely agree that they should be useful combat ships. Otherwise, they're just they're these blobs that are firing from get.
Well, what do we have here?
Auto Scout is so convenient. I just don't want to lose that, really.
Right, so let's have a look. See, let's do that target engines. There's that sound. Look at that. Do you hear that? The engines are damaged. Now let's plop the scout down, the probe down.
I wonder if I could have. I wonder if I could make an ability where Auto Scout triggers, like, say, 4 or 5 times. So it'll scout 4 or 5 systems, but you kind of have to keep an eye out, otherwise it'll just sit there like a potato and die. If you're not kind of keeping your eye on it. After about 4 jumps.
This is odd.
Yeah? Yeah? What's going on?
Fed ability sensor probe.
Yeah?
This should. Oh, of course. Yeah, that's not what I wanted it to do.
Huh.
Okay. Of course it does it to target.
Do you think the D5 or the D5 tanker variant should come first?
Hold up.
Pew, 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 pew.
This is not what I wanted it to do. I need to retool that ability. I wanted to do a targeted buff to self and then automatically target the planet. Do the proxy sensor thing. Because now it just literally casts the buff on the planet.
If you're looking to see what's in the next system along, you might need one that casts to the planet and then casts to adjacent gravity wells. So you might need a buff off a buff.
Yeah, that's kind of... No, it's supposed to cast... I need to shut down the game. I've done it wrong. Fed ability...
It's all right. I've made nearly everything wrong that I've ever done at least once, so I wouldn't worry about it.
Fed ability sensor probe scramble, which applies it to itself.
So I'm thinking, from a utilitarian perspective, it would be nice to have the D5 tanker before the actual full fat D5.
Yeah, makes sense from a canon perspective as well.
Okay, I'll go with that then. And then kind of the command, the Grethel, the L6, will come towards the end of the build tree, as will the F2.
Yeah, I don't know the names of all the ships out of my head. I'm sorry.
The F2 is the thing that has the wings of bombers, and the Grethel is the command cruiser.
I know the Grethor one. I made that. The F2. Which one's that?
That's the fighter thingamajiggy.
Oh, the carrier, light carrier.
Yeah, yeah.
Just call it the damn light carrier.
Okay. Well, it's carrier cruiser. So I'll put both the carrier and the command cruiser towards the end of the research tree.
I know what's wrong, by the way, with the thing. The ability, the scout, the planetary scout. The proxy thing. It does not have an auto cast. So it doesn't
have an AI use time.
Both abilities are set to invalid. I think it's almost like meant that they were supposed to do it. Yeah.
I think it was set that way because I think Keith wanted you to have to do it manually.
Yeah, I don't like that. Do you like that?
As I say, I mean,
because it is invulnerable already by the start. So I'm gonna make it autocast for us.
Well, it doesn't seem unreasonable. I mean, if we decide ultimately down the line that we want to move it back to how Keith wanted it, then we'll do that.
It's easy enough. It's just an AI use time and an AI use condition.
Yeah, that's exactly that. That's the nice thing about being in development is you can always reverse things if you decide that you don't like what you've done.
Ability. AI use time.
Myself for a moment. I'll be back in just a minute or two. Okay.
Anytime. Capital A. Right. Let's test this again. Not Star Wars Battlefront 2. Since of Solar Empire Rebellion. Sorry for a bit of chaos, folks, because it's what happens when you Whoa! I can hear myself, Wes. That's scary. Coffee break. Coffee is for the weak. Real men drink beer. Wes, you're still feeding back at times.
Sorry about that.
Very lightly, it was just a very loud Discord sound.
Oh, weird. Okay. I think I disabled streaming mode, so I'll go back into that. So Max,
it makes you a British man, Centurion.
What is your favorite ship design that you got going into your mod?
Oh, what I've got going into the mod.
Yeah, into the new one.
Ooh, that's a difficult one there. I've really always liked the Poseidon and Yorktown from Star Trek Legacy. I really love those ships. And the Warp Delta. Just anything really from Enterprise. Not a huge fan of the Daedalus, but it grew on me. But the Poseidon and the Yorktown are really ones that I find really special. What always bothered me, these designs.
I'm not sure I remember what the Poseidon is.
Well, if you look on the stream, it's the little torpedo frigate you can see here. You can see there and there.
Okay.
It's got a little roll bar with the 8 torpedo tubes.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. That's the one that you rescue in Legacy, right?
Yes, in the first campaign mission, you drag it out with a tractor beam.
Yeah. Awesome. So, ages. These ships are really old by the time you're playing. Are you in the...
No, the mod progresses through the timeline from Enterprise really to early TOS.
Okay. Gotcha.
So let's set these scouts.
And does it end at the motion picture era?
No, it ends at the beginning of TOS.
Okay. Gotcha. So
that's why your Constitution is your Titan.
Oh, beautiful. Okay.
As a question that could solicit a slight different answer, rather your favorite ship, what ship would you like to command? Now, Centurion, is this a ship that is in the mod at the moment, or is it a ship in general? because that makes it a lot more specific. One thing I always love about Sins is this effect. That exit warp effect. I'd have to say I would love to command a Neptune class. You know, the almost annex this thing. I just love it. Alright, so let's deploy a sensor buoy.
All right, I figured out streamer mode. Hopefully that fixes the those sounds there. Did you answer your favorite non-mod ship that you would command?
It should still do this. Now, why is it not doing that? Wait. Center, Fed buff sensor probe scramble, and let's see if Fed ability sensor probe, Fed spawnable sensor uses FN probe.
Hey, nice to meet you too, Master Chief. I turned on streamer mode, so I think maybe that fixed some sort of echoing or something.
FN probe, yeah, it should do. Just give me a second, guys.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
How are we going?
I managed to fix the echoing problem we were having.
Oh, that's
with
good.
me. Yeah.
What did you
And,
change?
I enabled streamer mode. Who would have thought when you stream, streamer mode would help. So one thing we were talking about was if you could command a ship in the mod, and also one that's not in the mod, which two ships would those be?
I'm going to go with two ships. Are you talking about
So-
specifically this one?
So one that's in this current mod that's coming out, the Aegis, and then one that might not.
I really like the look of the Grethel, which is a command cruiser.
Is that Klingon?
Yeah, it's a Klingon ship. Yeah, really, really nice. I think we've got some images of it on the mod DB. And what else would I like to go for? I think the Ares. The Ares has just got a certain mystique about it, hasn't it? So.
Yeah. I think I met the guy who designed that.
Oh, that's super
at
cool.
a convention. Yeah, he was super proud of it, and he should be. Sadly, that was actually a couple months before the whole Axanar thing. But,
I see.
Yeah, back when they were at their peak, they were at the convention and had several booths, and Yeah, it was going to be a pretty good thing, but yeah, Ares is pretty great design. That guy should apply for a job with Discovery.
I couldn't get worse, could it?
You know? Well, actually, the first Discovery that they released, I think back in 2016 summer, it was just this really crappy CGI render.
Yes,
of
yeah.
it.
Which
Yeah.
I think I actually preferred over the production version.
Really? Oh,
Yeah, I still didn't like it, but the production version, it's
Yeah.
just, it's like, if they wanted to make Star Wars, they should have made Star Wars.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
that, I
well-
think that's my issue. Really, with the visual aspect of Discovery. I don't hate it. I think it's a perfectly serviceable, high quality sci-fi production, but it doesn't feel right.
Yeah, it's you know, it's supposed to be a bright universe, not really dark and gritty. It's not Breaking Bad.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't necessarily agree with everything that Gene Roddenberry stood for. In fact,
Yeah.
I think sometimes his viewpoints were an impediment to good filmmaking.
Yeah, you've seen that documentary, haven't you? Chaos on the Bridge.
Yes, yes.
And I don't think Gene Roddenberry would have particularly liked DS9, which happens
Oh
to be
no,
my
no,
favorite.
he would. In fact, a lot of Star Trek fans dislike DS9 for that exact reason. He had some hard and fast rules, didn't he? For example, no interpersonal conflict between the crew. That was something that he absolutely would not have, and he wouldn't consume the thought of.
Unless they were possessed by an alien body, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Some sort of-
Unless a third party was responsible for said conflict, yeah.
Centurion brought up that some news that I think just hit either today or yesterday. CBS executive Moonves is stepping down.
Okay.
It's official now, and
He's not
sure if
stepping
he's
down. He got
gone.
fired.
Oh well,
Sexual
it's a
sexual misconduct.
Yes, it's probably time for you to step down.
A person like that should be put in jail. You know, if you've been sexually assaulted.
Yeah, well, yeah, if you're executive, or you should be put in jail, or
If you're an executive man and you're white, you know, you can get away with everything.
yeah.
Oh my.
I'm sorry, that's how I feel. You know, if you do that to somebody, it's not good. AI targeting condition.
What am I doing in here? That needs to be 0.
But I'm not sure if he was actually responsible for a lot of the direction Discovery.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, so that might be a good sign that he's gone. Because I believe, I don't know where I heard this from. People were telling me online that they had read a lot about him and that he was not a.
He's the reason. He's the reason the Star Trek 50th anniversary was so shit.
Okay.
He used the 50th anniversary. He used the 50th anniversary to promote Beyond, and that's pretty much all they did for the 50th. If you remember, they didn't do a lot for the 50th anniversary of Trek.
They didn't what?
They didn't do a lot of things for the 50th anniversary of Trek. They sued Axanar, and then they
What a present.
Yeah, like, oh yeah, it's 50th anniversary of your franchise. Let's sue the fans, because this only happens once every 50 years. Sorry guys for being AFK. I smelt a burning smell.
Bought it, made it an official production, and made lots of money from it.
I think it would have made good money. I mean, as I say, I don't necessarily want to bash Discovery. I don't think that. I don't think it really serves a purpose.
You can state your opinion.
Oh yeah, and I do so quite happily. But I don't think it serves a purpose to kind of go on about the failings of Discovery.
There's too many in it.
Well, no. As I say, I think it's a perfectly serviceable sci-fi, and I've got absolutely no issues with it as a sci-fi production whatsoever.
But
As I say, it just doesn't feel right to me. That's my biggest issue. It just doesn't feel like the way that I would expect it to. Capital Command.
Well, it's only had 1 year, and they have hopefully plenty more time to completely reverse course on many things.
We'll see.
Doubt.
We will.
See if things work better now.
Any theories for the next season, though?
Nope.
Nope.
I haven't got any yet. I'll let you know though. Right, let's grab these.
See, it's not doing it. It's not doing it. It's not. Who coded this ability?
If I just say, "Hey, that were me,"
The sensor buoy should automatically make it invulnerable, which it does. It works.
right?
But it's not playing the effect.
Huh.
So it is an instant action, so it's there. It should apply this. It's there. It cannot be damaged thing is there. And the buff, the sensor probe one that there is, isn't working either, as in it's not doing the thing it should do.
So, sorry if you already said this and I missed it, but this sensor probe, it's an ability for which ship?
Scout.
Scout. Okay. And could you describe what it does? Does it just leave?
Oh,
a
it
probe
done,
where it does, or does it launch it?
It basically deploys a little probe, and the probe scans the planet.
Okay.
It does seem to work, doesn't it? Just drop a probe behind it.
Yes, that works, but the abilities on the probe don't autocast. So it does autocast the ability where it becomes invulnerable for 480 seconds, but it doesn't autocast the ability. That's what I was going. It doesn't autocast the ability to scan the actual planet.
When you say scan the actual planet, it's not going to be able to scan the planet. That's something it can't do.
It can if you manually target it.
But what are you intending for it to do when it scans the planet?
No, it
What
already
kind of-
scans the planet. That part works fine. It just doesn't autocast. That's the issue.
Okay, so it's just the AI use time. Just change it to always. An easy way to get around that is go apply buff to self, set that as autocast to always, and then there'll be a secondary buff, and apply to objects in local orbit body.
It already has apply buff to target no range, which applies to a planet, which is no owner, enemy, or allied. It's literally already an instant to target. It has AI use time anytime, AI target condition any. Is autocast available? True. Is autocast on by default? True. The only thing was wrong was that it was set to an intrinsic ability, which is something I fixed, which might have done the trick. Another problem
Try
is
neutral.
no owner is already set as
No,
ownership.
I can't see very well from where I am.
Right, so the other problem is that it's got a second ability, which is called F ability sensor probe scramble, which works because it casts F buff sensor probe scramble to self, which adds cannot be damaged and a time elapsed. However, it doesn't do this bit, which I added.
Oh, it doesn't play the effect.
Nope.
Try putting the effect in the ability rather than the buff.
No,
We'll
it
see what
needs to
happens.
be on it needs to be on the buff because it needs to last the same amount of time as the ability, as the buff that has lasted. So it needs to last 480 seconds. See the issue there? I'm going to go buff instant action. Instant action buff play persistent attached effect. And we're going to do always perform. I said it's that. Maybe that'll do the trick because it's not an on delay. Maybe it doesn't like that. Oh, I've got 12 people watching now. I've got quite an audience, don't we?
Very good indeed.
This is, by the way, me trying to fix stuff that's broken. But it's not really broken. It's kind of broken because it kind of does what it's supposed to, but not really. Let's go back to that AI use condition, which is. Should be any time, isn't it?
I think I broke something. Ooh.
What did you break, my brother?
I wish I knew. Better turn errors on.
You've got errors off?
Well, I have to do it for my
Yeah, for the recording.
for the series I'm doing.
And it hurts, doesn't it, when you turn it on and that?
Well, by virtue of the fact that there are Cardassian ships in there, and it throws that error every second, so I wouldn't be able to do what I needed to. Which is irksome.
Yeah, I can imagine. Oh, but I was still supposed to answer a question. Which ship would I like to command myself? Oh, I think I'd go for a Poseidon as well. Maybe, because, you can now just sit in the distance, fire torpedo volley. Pew, 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 pew.
Is that their role in Ages?
Yes.
Awesome.
Also, if I'm in command, then it's very overpowered. Because, that's how things work. Isn't it, Go?
What's this? What?
When I'm in command, things get overpowered.
Often true.
We still need to check all the disco and the fleet tender abilities, that they're not way too wonky donkey. Yes, the whole system goes down. Those were his words. Also, folks, check this out. Oh, fleet's en route. The Enterprise is on point. Where's the rest of the fleet? God, that's sexy, isn't it?
Who are we going up against?
And again, it doesn't work. Look, Go. The sensor buoy invulnerability for 1480 seconds, it works. See, it's invulnerable. However, this one, it just doesn't do it. When I do it myself, it does do it, and it also does it to the planet. Has remote sensor.
Yep. So you're gonna have to do a cast to self, and then auto cast to objects in system.
Used to be a passive ability, doesn't it?
No, it can still be active because self is a target within easy range, and you can just put always on the auto cast.
It's annoying that it doesn't work.
Ball of fire. For some reason, Stupid Rebellion isn't stupid starting the stupid program. Stupid. Let's try this dev shortcut. Maybe that'll want to work.
So you're saying that I should do a buff to self?
I think so, yeah. I think that's going to be the easiest way, and then have a buff which.
Well, I can
targets-
use the sensor scramble one, and I can just rename it.
There you go. Yeah, and then you have a buff that comes off that targets all objects in gravity well or something like that. I can't remember specifically what it is.
Yeah, apply buff to target, no range. I'll do a second apply buff to self where it just does the sensor. I'm also taking off the cannot be damaged. I'm just applying a entity pool modifier of it being harder to kill.
Okay.
So you can still kill it. So it works in a weird way now at the moment anyway. Take away the ability sensor probe, just put sensor probe scramble on there. Because I know that ability at least works. Fed, buff. Copy buff sensor probe scrambler. Scramble self. No, didn't want to start up Photoshop. I need to just open a bunch of self abilities. Don't want to open Photoshop. Ugh. No, not non-weapon fired. God. No, I need... I can never find an ability which does what I want it to do.
That's because it'll never do what you want it to. Our computer is having a magnificent bitch fit.
Okay, Fed ability, sense probe, Fed ability. Ownership. Now, luckily, the thing it does is within a gravity well. Complex now I've got one with an entity pool modifier. There we go. Sometimes, folks, it's a little bit hard to get these things done, and when you can't get things working, you get very, very, very frustrated at times. Entity pool modifiers cannot be damaged. Alright, apply buff to targets and radius. Another instant action, F buff sends across framework. It's 3 instant action, actually. It's 2 instant actions. Apply buff to self. Always perform. I know I created a second one. Oh yes, fed buff. That would be fed buff sensor probe underscore scramble underscore self. And we're actually going to take that entity pool modifier and put that on. Oh shit. On there, so we can see if that one applies property. Alright, I just need to add that self one to the entity manifest. And maybe then possibly this will work. I hope so. If not, we're going to crash the game, folks. Should be good. Why is everyone else so quiet, by the way, all of a sudden?
I'm watching.
What? Go code
I'm
research,
watching.
you.
My Sins has decided that it doesn't want to play.
What doesn't it want to play? What's that? Let's slap some sense into that.
I've been sat here on the loading screen
What, this one?
for about 5 minutes now, and I don't know why. I think I'll need to restart my computer in order to make it go.
Oh god, I'm scared. Centurion, why you do this to me? Centurion says they're all silently judging me. I'm scared.
Well,
There you
I
go.
don't know
I'm
what you-
just more
on
scared
them?
now. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, I know fear. But my only fear is fear itself. The only fear is fear itself. The only fear is fear itself. Oh god, that was a weird Voyager episode, wasn't it? With the freaky clowns.
Oh, I actually like that one. It's been a while since I've seen it.
It surely did show Janeway's psychopath side, didn't it?
I know.
As I always say, folks, there are 3 ways to do things: the right way,
Oh no.
the
I know
wrong
where this
way,
is going.
and the Janeway. The Janeway one is kind of being a psychopath. Technically, it should already work.
I take it you watch a lot of that viewer SF Debris.
Let's see if it. Oh boy. Okay. That didn't work. Apply buff to self. Should be a passive. Wow, go.
Yeah, it's broken.
I don't know what you said. Yes.
Oh no.
Let's try like that. Ah, Gull's restarting his machine. So that should take a minute. Uh-oh. Roger, roger. La 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 la. Oh, come on, ability work. I thought I was going to do more. But no, I'm just fixing old things. Do, 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 do. That's brilliant.
Those loading screens rendered in 3ds Max, was it?
Yes, they were.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Ah.
What the hell happened there?
Oh, it's still not good.
Yeah, it is.
It's
fine.
not on my end.
It's fine. Right, attempt to fix this bloody thing, number 3227. Right. So it still doesn't work. Go.
Hello?
So the buff's supposed to target itself and turn itself invulnerable, except it just doesn't do anything. So, so the spawnable sensor has the ability Fed ability sensor probe scramble. Now, Fed ability sensor probe scramble applies buff to self, basically a passive buff.
Dude, I can't see what you're talking about, I'm afraid. Screen's too shit. Let me just try and make it a bit bigger.
Just gonna check another possibility. Maybe the passive part of it is broken. Fed ability, Mark II polarized hull. No, not Windows Defender. Yep, apply buff to self. Copy all this, but pretty sure it's all fine. It's literally the same. Right, that is the buff to self prior to his old buffs. Check the Fed. Buff Mark II polarized hull, come on. Huh. Maybe this does it. Oh, attempt number so many. 2 new support chips for Stowe. Centurion, I have no idea what the oh. Of course that won't work if I don't restart the game. I was give it a go.
I'll have a look at them at some point.
It just makes no bloody sense.
Well, don't worry about that. Move on.
Yes, I am! I will worry about it. This should work. It's applying
Move on to something else for the time being, because what's happening is you're getting wound up.
I'm not trying to figure this out.
Unnecessarily.
I said spawns f buff sensor probe underscore scramble. Okay, so that is this file. Now, why is it not doing the instant actions? So it's not applying both to self. So maybe we need to change the apply to self. Apply buff to targets and radius is not working. It's applying the buff to self. Always perform. What's another good one to use? Let's use on delay. Need to find a thing that has an on delay. Try it again, using an on delay. Also, Shinzurina, I have no idea what those Klingon ships you talked about look like, and I'm going to have a look.
The Probert Ambassador. Probert.
Oh?
From the looks of it, that's how it looks to me anyway. And yeah, quite a nice looking Klingon ship as well.
Where am I looking? Where am I seeing these?
Yeah, they both look okay.
Who's support cruisers? Oh, that is... Oh, I want it.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's the Probert Ambassador. The Klingon ones...
I quite like it. I think it's all right. It looks chunky, monkey, bunky, wonky.
It just looks thrown together a bit. Just like...
Well, I mean,
it's
that's
just...
still...
Yeah. I mean, the Fed one's all right. I mean, it's the Probert
Because you can always swap pieces out. It always looks a little bit like that. It's kind of cobbled in some ways, isn't it?
Mm.
Even the Probert Ambassador looks a little bit interesting around the back. See the second image?
Mm. Yeah, it looks stow.
Yeah, it doesn't look like, you know, the rear of the bridge, the rear of the neck doesn't look quite as I would like it to. But overall, yeah, it's nice.
I don't like the Klingon one.
I do. Ah, good. Finally, it's bloody working.
We'll see about that. What were you trying to get to work?
The game.
I hate it when the game just refuses to do an ability. Like it's like, should this technically? I can't tell what's wrong. I mean, even the ability itself is saying that it should be doing it.
It's being a massive dick.
It's being a donk. You see there, Sonny, the problem's that it's not working properly. Not happy with that. You know, make pretty effects and sounds and everything and ready to go, and then...
Well, there's a bomb squad just down the road from me. That sounds fun.
What have you been building? And I told you not to get that fertilizer.
It's an accident.
Getting fertilizer is not an accident. Also getting plastic pipes and, you know...
I need to fertilise things.
Your pipe bombs, you mean?
Oh dear. The Army Explosives Ordnance Disposal team are there currently. It's Moseley just down the road from me. Why are they there?
Wait, what kind of team?
The Army Ordnance Disposal.
The people that make sure bombs don't go boom.
Yeah, it's the bomb disposal team.
Oh boy. You know, now might be a good time for you to go somewhere else.
I'll be fine. It's far enough away that I have a suspicion that nothing would be able to get me from this far. It would have to be a nuke to get me from this distance.
Okay.
Let's hope it's not.
Hey, look! It's invulnerable now and it's doing the thing. So at least it's applying that buff to self. that bit's working. Right, phase 1 complete. So it's now invulnerable and it casts stat buff to self. Question is, it hasn't cast it to the planet yet, but that might be because of the targeting conditions.
Apply buff to objects in local gravity well.
No, that won't work.
I'm like, I'm
Yep, it works now. It has a remote sensor. Yay! I done fixed it! The probe is invulnerable for 480 seconds and then it self-destructs. Also, the probe cannot move. Also, the looping sound works as well. And the looping sound lines up with the thing as well.
Ah, the thing. You know?
Yeah, I know. It's the I don't know if we showed this to people, by the way, yet.
Yeah, you show them at the start of the
No,
stream.
the other thing.
What other thing?
We showed these on ModTV, but I don't think we showed them in game yet. Correct.
Ah, the Terrans.
These have the wrong string. Thank you.
Take that, son of a man.
I mean, they're not going to do well, considering, you know. I mean, they're vastly outnumbered. I mean, look at... Oh. I need to fix that. That's not important.
What's
That's not important. It's not important. Alright, that's that. Right. Next ship for abilities. Close all but this. Fed ability frigate. Because that's a scout. Frigate. Attack pattern Omega and target antimatter. Now, I'm pretty sure that I did make an ability for attack pattern Omega, a particle for attack pattern Omega. No, Centurion, not tempted. Target attack pattern Omega self. It has a thing, a particle, but not a sound yet.
Oh my, not a thing.
But I know we already have an attack pattern sound, so I'm just going to reuse that. I think we've got an attack pattern sound. Ah, there we go. Just going to reuse that because, you know, no need to have unnecessary amount of sounds. And a target antimatter. Let's see if that has any particles. Oh, it doesn't have anything yet. Right, time to make a new particle. And apparently that's been going on for 300 and so many seconds. Alright, let's put that to infinite lifetime true. Now considering this is going to be a frigate ability, we're going to want to make sure that it's about the size of a frigate. So what we are going to do is we're going to create a frigate. So we're going to grab a particle GS shadowed ship. GS shadowed ship. There we go. And we're going to grab F and I think the warp delta is the frigate, which is the Jupiter. There we go. With the old textures looking sexy as ever. Right, next step. Now we're going to create a new point which has the -0. -90, 225 by 225, 0, and we're going to set it to parallel. There we go. We can make it a bit smaller, 200 by 200. Luckily the ship is relatively square, so you won't have to deal with the edges a lot. We're going to apply the same texture that we saw on another ship. Fed abilities, where was it? Base caster. No, we don't want that one. Fed abilities, base on target. No. Base on self. No. Now we had a thing. No. Damn. Need to find a texture, folks. Give me a minute. Open Photoshop again. Ah, I already spotted it. Fed ability targeter subsystem. Okay, that's what I wanted. Oh. Fed ability targeter subsystem. Okay, so we do need to make that slightly bigger. And we're going to need to turn this thing around. There we go. I still don't think this is big enough. It doesn't feel like on center, does it? It's too far. That's better. Now, of course, this isn't good enough. For one, it's not on the top and we're not on the bottom. So we need to give this faint. So I'm just going to name these things. We're going to call this ship. I'm going to call you flat. One. So what we're going to first do is we're going to copy flat 1. We're going to call you flat 2. name. It doesn't really matter. It's just for my own ease. It's easier to find things. So we're going to turn this upside down. I think this would be to do. Yeah, there we go. Look, both sides. And we're going to add a new fade to it. Hey, Draconian, good of us to join it. Let's join. We call you Flate Fade because I misspelled flat. I'm going to attach the emitters flat 1 and flat 2. I'm going to have fade in and out. So for one, that already makes it do this. It's no longer odd. Now let's have a look at the ability itself. Target antimatter self lasts. Yeah, that's not good. We need to quickly add another finish condition to that. Chris?
Yes?
We'd had no idea how broken that ability was, because if you equipped that, it would probably, it would have lasted forever. I didn't make that ability. Wait. Did I?
Oh, maybe I did.
Maybe I did. Anyway, so let's make that 15 seconds. Yeah, it's probably overpowered as hell. But that's what we got the beta team for checking the balance later on. All right, so that's that. That's that. Okay, that does have a finish condition. And what we're gonna do here is we're just gonna make that go like that. But we're also gonna make this oscillate in size. I'm gonna call this size flat, flate, because you know flate's better than flat. What we're going to do here is going to copy the size 275, and we're going to copy that to beginning X and beginning Y, and we're going to make it to 55 on the end, and a transition period of 1 second. I'm going to attach flat 1 and flat 2. So now, there we go, look at that. It does a little wiggly. Let's make that 0.5. Oh, of course this needs 0,5. That's weird. It just aligns perfectly. Alright, let's make that 1 second. That's cool anyway. Anywho, now that's flat. Now we're going to add another emitter, a new point. We're going to call you antimatter. And we're going to put you at 15. It's a bit low. It's going to put you at 55 then. That's nice and above the ship. That's way too big, folks. 45. 45 is all right. Now that's going to rotate with the camera, so no matter where you look from, you see it will always have the same orientation, unlike these flat ones here, which, you know, are dependent on your looking in 3D space. I'm going to apply a different texture to that. We're going to apply a texture. Fed abilities. Now I have subsystems in here. Should have subsystems in here. No. Target weapons icon above. Target phaser beams. Power to weapons. Target antimatter above icon. Oh. That shouldn't be. Yeah, that's good. See, now you're targeting antimatter. Now we're going to attach the fade. We're going to attach it to the same fade, because why the hell not? However, we're going to attach a different size oscillator for this. It's going to be size, and I'm going to make it 55. I'm going to attach this. So see, that does that. It's going to target your antimatter supply. Now the thing is, now we're going to get rid of the ship because that's no longer needed. So global properties has infinite lifetime is going to get turned off. We're going to have lifetime of 15 of the total effect, and we're going to have the lifetime of all the emitters turned from infinite to false. So what we're going to do, the time duration, is we're going to make this. We're going to make these 10 seconds, and particle editor just disappeared. That's just lovely. I just lost that work.
Oh, what the hell just happened?
I have no idea. Just like went like bloop. Right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to make a new particle effect.
Right, folks, I'm afraid that this is my time up now because I need to go away for a bit before I stream.
You know what? That's a good moment for me to call the end of the stream as well. It's
Oh,
actually quite frustrating to lose a particle effect that you just worked on.
I imagine so, yeah. But folks,
So
I
we had
hope
a
you've
good
enjoyed this stream. Yeah, you've got a lot of work done, haven't you?
Yeah, it was a stream of an hour and a half long, so longer than we expected it to last.
There you go.
So, folks, I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll hope to see you all next time. Don't forget to subscribe, click the little bell icon, and watch the video back of blah 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 blah, and listen to me make weird sounds when I can't get through my mouth words.
Do all the things.
All the things.
Bye-doodle.
Bye-de-boodle.